Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the INSOMNIACS Podcast. We got a special episode tonight. We got the one, the only, Puerto Rico's finest, PUERTOROCK 77. Give him a hand of applause, everybody.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
What's up, man? It's your only friend, these YouTube streets, rocking out right here in the INSOMNIACS Podcast. Thanks for the invite, brother.
Yeah, to side, man. We appreciate it. Now for our panel members, we just start off. We got CoolHandCruz. What up, CoolHand?
What's going on? Keeping it cool, baby.
Okay. We got your boy, your Xbox, iTrip. iTrip, you there?
Yo, my bad, I was muted.
Good. We got my man who got 5 next-gen Xboxes. My man CC, what up, CC? I almost said your full name there.
What it do, baby?
Tu sa. And last but not least, we got the current producer, C-Dollah. What up, C-Dollah?
What up?
What up? Oh man, you didn't do your Young Yeah intro this time?
I was waiting for the what's up, everybody.
What up?
All right. So again, we got a special show for y'all. PUERTOROCK's in the building tonight. You know, this is a special Latino episode of the INSOMNIACS Podcast. PUERTOROCK, just to get started off, man. Like, I've been following your content from the jump. I found out about you when Z was bringing you on, and I thought it was really dope to have a Puerto Rican, someone who represents where I come from. Even though I'm Dominican, same thing, different island.
The Caribe.
Caribe, yeah. So it's like it was really dope to see, your growth and where you came from, and 60 Frame No Lag podcast. Everyone check that out. So yeah, man, it's an honor to have you on, man. We really appreciate it.
Man, truly appreciate it, man. Thank you for the invite. It's cool that we see more in the Latin community growing in gaming. Yeah, so I'm from the first generation gamers. Like the Nintendo, ColecoVision. Mm-hmm. And you didn't see it that much. You know what I'm saying? Maybe in your own neighborhood if you grew up and stuff like that. And then as social media took over little by little, YouTube first started, things like that, the early videos, you didn't see much of us putting our faces out there, doing podcasts or talking about games. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really glad, we got Danny Pena out there doing his thing. And Tony Polanco doing his thing, man. Shout out to them, and it's great. It's great seeing that growth of us, being part of gaming. We game too. We've been gamers, and I'm glad we're finally putting a face behind this, and we get to include our thoughts and opinions into this. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for the invite, man. We stick together and we'll grow together. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to seeing the growth. I already subscribed. I'm looking forward to seeing the growth of this podcast. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely got my support 100%.
Yo, thank you, man. That means a lot, yo, bro. And I agree with you, bro. Like it's important to have that representation, just like the names you just dropped. Whether you support Xbox or PlayStation, it don't matter. We're coming over, we're taking over. You know what I'm saying? Like, people love our culture, so it's time we give back. Especially when it comes to gaming. Because we're definitely a minority group, so it's cool to have different voices out there. But let's jump right into it. I'm gonna start off on a light topic. Let's talk about these PS5 accessories shipping early.
Whoa! Sorry, slow your roll real quick.
What's up?
we got to talk about what's coming out this week.
Oh,
some notable mentions.
My bad. Cool hand. Let it go, man.
What's going on? What's coming out this week from Thursday to Thursday? Coming out next Thursday, October 29th, Watch Dogs Legion. I know for anyone who's been anticipating this follow-up, I definitely am. Coming out for PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Stadia. Go get it.
I mean, Hip Hop got a track on that.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Hip Hop Gamer. We got a track on that. Go check it out. And that's all for this week's releases.
That's all we got. All right, that's all we got. I was like, damn, what's the next game?
Good cliffhanger.
Yeah, I was like, wait, is there more? But yeah, shout out to Hip Hop, man. He was definitely letting us know about the time to him appearing as an NPC and having his music featured in Watch Dogs, and that was really dope. And he was saying that there's some stuff in Watch Dogs. Y'all heard it here. He said that there's some stuff they did in Watch Dogs Legion that has never been done in a video game before, I'm here for it. I want to see it. So yeah, check that out. PuertoRock, you looking at that, or are you waiting and seeing?
So I'm waiting to see, because Ubisoft, I take Ubisoft's quality game by game. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they do something great, and you're like, cool, Ubisoft's on point. And then when you just blindly buy another game, you be like, what the? And you're like, Ubi, come on, man. Like, am I wrong? Like they do dope with one game, and then the next game, you're like,
right.
Like, who's QCing? Do they have like two different people? Is he bipolar? So I'm gonna look for it, but I'm gonna wait and see. I'm not gonna blindly jump with this. You know what I'm saying? So I take Ubisoft on a game by game approach. If they make something for hot, I'm gonna copy it. If it's mid, I'll probably put it on the back burner. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So save it for Game Pass fodder.
Yeah, Game Pass fodder. PS Now or some shit, or GameFly that sucker.
There you go.
Yeah, Ubisoft be on that template shit, man. They be 1 second, it'd be like, yo, this game is just like the last one. No, like, we're not even getting to Assassin's Creed and all that, but hopefully with Valhalla they learned better. I mean, they took a break. So
was that Cape Gate?
Was Cape Gate?
Yeah, Cape Gate. Everyone talking about the Cape flying in the Valhalla game.
What this ain't about the Cape? What?
Just flying, and you think that's gonna be his cape?
Nah. I'm talking about everyone was complaining about like the quality in the Cape flying while the character is running.
Oh my god!
It's not
weird,
ray trace or something? It's not ray trace. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, moving realistic to the wind patterns.
Jesus.
They find anything.
I'm gonna tell you, man. Gamers, they're the most educated in everything. They're metrologists, experts in gravity, physics. They know the rules of time continuum.
Engineers, right?
Genetics. They know how light reflects off puddles. Gamers know everything about everything.
Yo. You watch the video, you be like, it's not that bad, and then everybody's like, what do you mean it's not that bad? I'm like, oh, my fault.
They start getting all technical on you. It's like, well, shit. Sorry, I don't have a degree in that. Fuck.
The armchair analysts everywhere on Twitter, man. But yeah, let's get into this first topic, man. PS5 accessories shipping early. C-Dollah sign. I know that you getting your PS5 controller early.
Yeah, I got an email from Target saying my PS5 controller is going to arrive October 30th, so I'm going to get to play around with it before I have a PlayStation 5, but that'll be cool. I can do like a little unboxing and whatnot.
Yeah, we should definitely do something like that. Yeah, they're showing up at Targets. Now, for the controllers that are in store right now, they're not able to sell it. Like if they try ringing it up, it doesn't let it until launch day. So,
retailers have controllers on hand already?
Yep, they do. So, yeah, I mean it's cool to see. I mean, it's not really anything too big. Everyone's waiting for the actual consoles because what the hell are you gonna do with the controller? You can't do anything with it, But again, DualSense controller, and dollar sign. Once you get it, I know it's not going to be connected and everything, but it's dope to know that controller has all that new haptic feedback technology. And there's a actually list going around on Twitter, PuertoRock. I'm sure you've seen this of like the games that are like planning to utilize it.
Yeah, I saw that list. It's pretty cool. What I'm hoping for is hopefully they actually is not a gimmick. You know what I'm saying? That's my main concern with this controller. They talk a good game, but like what is it? One game where it jams on you.
What game was that? Not Ghostwire.
Yeah. So like I guess when the gun jams, the trigger will jam as well. It sounds fun in concept, but like when you actually play it, will it be fun or will it be frustrating or something?
It's gonna piss you off.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That would piss me off. You're gonna press the button even harder because you want that shit to go down. You're gonna break it.
Yeah, and you crack your trigger. Oh man,
then you're gonna be extra sour.
The people are gonna be tight. And then let's say if they don't ship enough controllers and it's out of stock, you'll be like, what?
and let's not forget the what is it? C-Dollah, remind me. PS3 controller without rumble.
DualSense. Or no, 6-axis. 6-axis controller. Yeah.
Y'all remember the 6-axis? The 10 games that use that the 6-axis feature. I think the only game I remember that like used it in a cool way was it Mag? like Mag is like a 300 person or 200 person multiplayer game, and if you got into like one of the flying vehicles, if you kind of like moved your controller to the right or to the left, then it'll do
pilot.
You could pilot it.
I think Warhawk did that too. It was
you know what I was thinking.
Warhawk did that. Warhawk, you were able to pilot. It was pretty. And I think also Heavenly Sword.
Yeah.
Like you jerked it up, and she did this ultra combo. Like it was
also, Ratchet and Clank had a similar mechanic. You
know. So
yeah, but I think overall it was completely underutilized. I mean, initially they tried to make as many games, utilize it, but then like shit, not even a quarter into the generation. I mean, that it was pretty much abandoned. People were like, 6-axis, what?
I had like a rubber ducky game where you have to like save all the rubber duckies from the sharks. You gotta shake the DualSense or the 6-axis controller.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was the tech demo
the demo. Yeah.
I think like it was free, like the first 10 levels or something.
Just this randomly just popped my mind, but yo, bring back PlayStation Home. That joint was low key ahead of its time. Damn, I got straight crickets on that. All right.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
I mean, it was cool for a second.
It was like a what's that game on PC? Second Life, I think.
Yeah.
Or Sims.
Yeah. Or
Sims.
it looked better than Sims.
No, it looks better than a simulation game.
Get yourself an Oculus and do that shit in VR. I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The VR.
Second Life, was that mystery game?
You said what?
Was that mystery game? Second Life. That sounds familiar.
Second Life. It was like Second Life is like a game online where it's literally like you create an avatar of whoever the hell you want to be.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
it's just like online chat rooms with your avatar.
Yeah, it's a little spooky, a little scary. Like, what are you doing on Second Life, man? Go out.
It's hilarious.
Doing that weird shit. They're trying to cheat and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I remember.
Matter of fact, there was someone who like met their wife on Second Life, and I remember it hit news at the time. It was like, bro, what? But hey, and like a dude left his wife, and then the lady left her husband because they met on Second Life, and they were like married.
That's fucking hilarious.
Poor bastards.
What the hell? Yo, this is wild.
But yeah, PlayStation Home was something like that.
Home. Yeah, that.
Yeah,
weird.
Yeah, it looks pretty sketch.
That thing was weird. I was like, yo.
It was used inappropriately, so they took that shit away. That's what happened.
And that's why you got cricket.
I'm not gonna lie, though. I did like the fact that you could have like your own little like apartment. The idea was, get your friends over on PlayStation Home, and they never did this, by the way. Get all your friends to your apartment or your home, whatever, and then y'all could all launch into a game, like a multiplayer game, straight from the home.
Well, that's a pretty cool concept.
That was good in concept, yeah. That's not what happened. That shit was on Dateline. Like, yo. Yeah. Sony's like, yo, we shutting this down. Like,
they just got
A-line.
Yo.
Fucking Chris Hands.
Yeah, you got Chris Hands coming out. So, why'd you come here, huh? Why do you have a 6-pack?
Have a seat.
Have a seat, yeah.
Have a seat.
Chris Hansen on PlayStation Home.
That's dark. Let's get off this topic.
We move on, but it was fun in concept. Let's move on to this Phil Spencer interview, right? So we got this Phil Spencer interview. Boss Man Phil or Phil Axman or whatever name you got for Phil Spencer. He was asked regarding the big Bethesda deal. He said, let me pull up the quote right now. He said, he was asked, is it possible to recoup a $7.5 billion investment if you don't sell Elder Scrolls 6 on PlayStation? I asked. Phil Spencer said, yes, quickly. Then he paused. I don't want to flip about that. The deal was not done to take games away from another player base like that. Nowhere in the documentation that we put together was, how do we keep other players from playing these games? We want more people to be able to play the games, not fewer people to be able to play the games. What the hell are you saying, Phil? But I'll also say in the model, I'm just answering directly to the question you had. And when I think about where people are going to be playing and the number of devices we have, and we have xCloud, and PC and Game Pass and our console base, I don't have to ship those games on any other platform that we support in order to make the deal work for us, whatever that means. So, P-Rock, I want to hear your take on this. I know you've seen this. To me, this is just like, what are you saying, man? You said one thing, and then in the same sentence, you reversed it.
All right. So to understand this, everybody got to understand one thing, right? Phil as a person is a good dude. He genuinely cares about gaming. He genuinely cares about everybody being able to play. The problem is he works for Microsoft, and Microsoft didn't become one of the richest companies in the world by playing nice. Phil should have never, ever for years been on this holier than thou Dalai Lama gaming. He should have just, like, you don't hear Sony saying any of this stuff. However they feel about gaming, they keep close to the net. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And Phil right now, the problem that Phil is running into right now, because he spoke so much about gamers playing wherever you want. It's all about the ecosystems, not about the games. But the reality is Microsoft needs exclusives. They need games to separate themselves from PlayStation, you know, and that's what they did when they spent $7.5 billion. They're putting money down on the Xbox ecosystem to get people on the Xbox ecosystem. But Phil's trying to not look like the bad guy. So he's mixing his words in and out. Like, yeah, our intent is not this, but, you know, this, and, you know, we want people to play. Like, come on, Phil. You kind of screwed yourself, right? I think Phil right now, he just needs to be honest.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree that gaming's for everybody, right? But not every game is for everybody. If you guys know what I mean. Gaming is for everybody, but not every game is for everybody. Like, my wife's a gamer, but she plays on an iOS phone. She don't like this PlayStation. She doesn't like God of War. She doesn't like Halo. She doesn't like Elder Scrolls. But she'll spend hundreds of dollars on her stupid ass games that are pay to win. But that's what she likes. She loves that. She'll spend hours on that stuff, and she's like on level 500 on these games, right? But that's what she likes. That's for her, right? She doesn't have to like Xbox or PlayStation, you know what I'm saying? And I agree with the same thing. Microsoft, they should just cater to their audience that likes Xbox. And don't worry about PlayStation dudes. Don't worry about anybody else. Just make Xbox the best that it can be. And if it's good enough, people will gravitate, right? Mm-hmm. People will find a way to buy a box. You know what I'm saying? You know, obviously some people's financial situation changes year to year, but ultimately, if you make the games, we're going to get the product. Don't worry about that, right? Don't worry about what PlayStation does, what Nintendo does. Just worry about what you do. Stop making these statements that will bite you in the butt in the long run, right? Mm-hmm. It's okay to make games strictly for Xbox and whatever ecosystem platform. You know, it's okay if you're only worried about Game Pass, xCloud, and Xbox console. It's perfectly fine. Gamers will find a way to get your product and play it anyway. Don't worry about PlayStation guys, because Nintendo and Sony's not worrying about Xbox guys. They're they're not. Nintendo doesn't care if an Xbox guy doesn't have access to their games. You want access to their games? Buy a Switch. You don't buy a Switch? Oh, well, you're not our customer. We're not going to worry about you. And Sony, I think, is the same way. You know, we make Spider-Man. Oh my God, but I'm a Spider-Man fan on Xbox. And Sony's looking at you like, okay, that ain't my problem. Buy a PlayStation and enjoy it there. You know what I'm saying? That's it. If you really want to play the game, you're going to get the device you need to play the game. And I think Phil needs to just realize that and stop being kumbaya. Just stop. It's not working. You know, Xbox needs, you know, its own unique titles to make the brand good. It can't just be a device that plays the same games every other device. It's not going to survive that way. It needs unique content. You know, it's called an Xbox for a reason. You know, it's not a PlayStation version 3.5 or a PC version 2.0. It's its own unique device, and it needs its own unique content. You know, that's just how it is. You know,
when the first Xbox came out, man, and you know they had lightning in a bottle with Halo.
Yeah.
And that game set it apart as its own thing. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is our game. You can only play it on this system. I bought an Xbox to specifically play Halo. When that was when it was as big as it was.
Yeah, it's not just a game. It actually created its own culture, right? Yeah. Because that was the start of the shooter guys, the multiplayer guys, the first-person competitive players guys. Man, it wasn't about that life. Like
that's
you,
where I was born.
Yeah, like
the day I became alive.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Like PlayStation wasn't about that competitive shooter life. It just wasn't that platform. But when they put Halo on, people were like, oh snap, and it worked. And then when Halo 2 went live with Xbox Live, it was a wrap. They
brought out the dual dual wielding in that one. Come on, that was revolutionary.
No, but you see what I'm saying? So it not only had exclusive, but it created an exclusive or unique culture in gaming, and that's perfectly fine. Xbox was a shooter box, while PlayStation was like the RPG, single player box, and that's cool. That's how it was, and that's great because when you have these devices catered to its own demographic, everybody has access to these consoles. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I never really agree with his statement of excluding gamers. There's no such thing. If a gamer wants to play a game, they're gonna play it, right? They just have to buy the box.
And it's been like that.
There's no barrier. It's not like I'm in Best Buy making sure Xbox guys don't buy PlayStations. I don't have a shield and sword saying, "Who are you? Oh, you like Xbox? Yeah, you ain't playing. Go away." No one's doing that. No one's doing that, right? Everybody has access to these games.
Yeah, and traditionally it's always been like that, right? Like before cross-gen was even an idea, a thing, a concept. If you bought a game, it was to play the exclusives that were only on that game, right? I don't remember playing Crazy Taxi on PS1, PS2. I had to get a Dreamcast, If I want to play Sonic Adventure, I had to get that. So it's like gaming's always been like this, right? And there's a great series on Netflix. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it goes into, console wars of the 90s. Sega versus Nintendo,
Oh, yeah.
Sonic and all that.
Sega Genesis, Sega CD, Sega Saturn.
I think it was called Console Wars.
Console Wars, maybe. But they were living and dying on their exclusives, right? And yes, the technology, right? So I'm not going to say that, it's not about the tech. It's all about the games. It is, and it's also about the tech as well. PlayStation came out. We got a CD. Our CD can hold more data than, these cartridges, a la Nintendo, right? And the tech definitely does push all this forward, but at the heart of it, it's games, right? We were playing these games, whether you had a Nintendo 64 and you were still playing off a cartridge and 64-bit, whatever, you had the games to back it up. And like the great point PuerTorok brought up earlier, Nintendo does not care. If anyone doesn't care about console wars, it's Nintendo, because they're saying, listen, motherfuckers, our games, Breath of the Wild just for the first time and in a long time I've seen, went down to $40. This game is 3 years old and it's been selling for $60. And guess what? Nintendo doesn't care. They put their balls on the table and said, so what? If you want to play it, you got to buy it. So great point, PuerTorok. It's, I don't know. I have a question for you. So do you think that a big title, I'm talking about a title that's been traditionally cross-gen, like Elder Scrolls or Fallout, will be somewhat exclusive to Xbox? And when I say somewhat exclusive, I mean we know it's going to be on PC too.
I think that's their intention. I think their intention is to keep, the Bethesda, because they spent $7.5 billion, right? And everybody keeps just looking at it, the game sales. It's more than the game sales. They're trying to push their ecosystem. They're trying to push Game Pass, which is their number one effort. Obviously, they want their consoles to sell good. I think Phil Spencer officially made a statement that one of the reasons why they made Xbox Series S was to help with console sales. And they want xCloud out there. They want people to subscribe to xCloud. And the reality is you need content for that, right? And not just multi-plat content that you could get everywhere else, but exclusive content and big content, right? So I think that's their intention, is to keep, so I'm like 90-10 right now that it's going to be exclusive to their ecosystem. Primarily, with them advertising it as get it on Game Pass, right?
Yep.
I see the only way it could end up on PlayStation is if things don't turn out too well, or certain things don't meet their mark as a company, right? So, for example, what if Xbox Series X actually doesn't sell well? Let's say it just doesn't sell well for whatever reason, God forbid, but let's say it doesn't meet the sales mark that they thought it was. And what if xCloud doesn't really catch traction, right? I know a lot of people are going to say, console sales don't matter. Well, it does matter, because how do you get people to play your games? A console. You need something to play the game on. So console sales do matter, right? What if people don't really care about playing games on the phone? Let's say it's only the hardcore guys that do that, right? So the guys that actually own the Xbox Series X, they're the ones that are on xCloud. That's not, it's the same user. They want people beyond the console, right? Yep. So let's say xCloud doesn't gain traction. And then on PC, let's say most PC gamers, they'll play a little bit, maybe subscribe for a month, and then they unsubscribe because they mostly care about Steam. So any combination of where, Xbox as a ecosystem doesn't meet the metric, now they have to realize, wait a minute, our own ecosystem, it's not doing too well. We ultimately, at the end of the day, got to make a buck, because that's ultimately the goal, right? To make money, right? Yep. And if they need PlayStation to make money, then that's what they're going to do. That's one of the main reasons why they didn't get rid of Minecraft or attempt to make Minecraft exclusive or like, keep Minecraft away. They left it. And not only did they left it, but like Minecraft Dungeon, which is a new IP, right? They had no reason to put that on the PlayStation. They did it anyway, right? Because the money's too good for their eyes, and if you look at Microsoft as a company as a whole, they have no problem putting software on other people's product. I mean, you could get Microsoft Office on Mac, right? So ultimately, it's going to be about the money. But I think right now their intention is to use Bethesda to support Game Pass, because one of the biggest issues people have Game Pass is, and somebody mentioned earlier, Game Pass fodder. The perception, at least, right, that Game Pass ain't really pushing big games. They keep pushing these little titles, and that's not going to attract the service. Well, now you got Bethesda, so Elder Scrolls Day 1, Fallout Day 1, new Doom, Wolfenstein, and these are just the titles we know of because we're used to them. But new projects, new IPs from these big AAA studios that know how to make them, that could make the service very attractive and gain, subscribers very quickly, And I think so. I think the intention is to just keep it exclusive to Game Pass. Ultimately, that's what they're trying to do.
I do want to get CC in here, and I want to get his thoughts on this. But I do want to just mention that when we had a Hip Hop Gamer on, he mentioned some interesting things. So he asked the whole panel, he's like, what do you guys think is bigger, Game Pass or PS Now? And we're like, I think 3 out of 4 of us.
Yeah, I said Game Pass.
Game Pass, right? I didn't say it because I was just like, wait, he's going to pull something out of his ass real quick. He said PlayStation Now is bigger, even though they have, and I'm not talking about user base, I'm talking about in profitability. So we're talking money here. Just because they don't subscribe to the dollar deals that a lot of people took advantage of and all that. So while they are reporting, high engagement numbers when they do have these sales specifically, which, marketing tactic, they're not making that as much money as we would think. And I believe the most recent quarterly reports kind of show that Game Pass is not making money because not right now, at least, they need to hit a certain threshold. That's where you hear the 2 billion gamers talk, right? Once they've crossed, I believe he was saying like 50 mil, then that's when you start seeing Game Pass raking the cash. But with to understand, they're spending a lot of money on hardware now, developers. So I just thought that was an interesting insight from Hip Hop, and he also mentioned how we haven't seen everything from Sony. That keep an eye out for PS Now, because if true, he's saying that they're gonna basically drop the bomb of PS Now. They're gonna lump it into PS Plus, which funny enough, the day after he did our podcast, it was in the news everywhere. And that they're gonna lump it in, and they're bringing back PS 1, 2, 3 titles for PS Now, which does have a bigger library currently than Game Pass by I think like 200, 300 games. So it would be interesting going to the PS5 with PS Now and having a library from PS1 through 5 that you're able to play, and it's interesting to see how that would stack up against Game Pass ultimately. But with that being said, CC and iTrip, either one of you, man, just what are your thoughts on Phil's comments and what we were just talking about?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, what PuerTorok was saying, yeah, it's a business at the end of the day. And I think he does know that even though he spent this, 7.5 billion, he knows that, over X amount of years, he's generally going to get that money back. So I really don't think he's worried about you losing that money in a sense. I did want to say, because it's like, I want to say that, but at the same time, it's like, what happened to their why can't I think of the streaming service?
Mixer, RIP Mixer.
Yeah, so it's just like
man.
at the same time, it's like what happened to Mixer? Even though if it was a project that had some trouble taking off, they just ultimately axed it really fast, in my opinion. But
Right, I love that shit.
it's just
Well, I think with that one, it was bad.
that-
It was bad business acumen, though. Like they spent too much money on basically paying streamers instead of paying for promotion and advertisement to promote their service. You know what I mean? Like I think marketing.
yeah. But then they threw around the 7.5 bill. Like they obviously have money, so it's like
Yeah, but that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like
eh.
that can definitely just that has bangers.
So that's the only thing that kind of gets me. It just leaves me with a little bit of uncertainty.
Okay, enough uncertainty to. Go ahead. Go ahead. Trey.
I think that he'll have maybe one, either a Fallout or one Elder Scrolls come to PlayStation, just to give you a taste of it on next gen, and then he'll make the rest of them exclusive to Xbox, just to give you a little taste of what it's going to be like on the next gen, and then that's when he'll cut you off.
So are you saying like that early in the gen we'll get multi?
You'll get your Deathloop. You'll get a few of the multi gens, or maybe one of the big hitters, maybe one of each of the big hitters, and then it's only going to be on the box.
All right. I mean, we shall see. We're 20 days, 17 days for the Xbox, 20 days for the PlayStation, from releasing. So. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting what their strategy is. I know, CoolHand, you were telling me earlier that on Xbox launch day, they're actually they have an event that they're planning.
Yeah, November 9th. It's I think it's So I mean, I plan on watching it. It seems interesting. So I would love to see what other because Phil Spencer's known for having some tricks up his sleeve too. My man's a magician, two-way Phil.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see. It should be. I mean, I'm fully expecting launch day for if this event is what we think it may be. It's just some speculation. I can see him dropping some big news or something to kind of combat that narrative that Xbox doesn't have many games, or like. We're launching kind of empty-handed, while on the other side you got Miles Morales, you got Demon Souls, plus others. You have Ratchet and Clank. So yeah, they need to put out something, man, because
you have PlayStation has like a Yankees murderers row lineup. You know what I mean? Just coming out the gate. And then on top of that, we're teasing you with other things that are coming out, right away. And with Xbox, sad to say, I don't think they're able to really fully recover from putting all their eggs in one basket with the whole Halo thing.
Yep.
I think the eggs moved to another basket once they bought ZeniMax.
Definitely.
That basket is definitely Game Pass, without a doubt.
Yeah, so
Game Pass.
And that's also the thing with Xbox. It's like we are okay with waiting. Like,
But no, yeah.
Like I'm telling you, you're gonna get tired of this game in X amount of maybe a month or two, and then it might be old, and then it's just like something of the past, and then we're gonna have this. We're gonna have this great game coming out later on when you guys probably don't have anything really working for you guys. So I feel like that's also kind of their strategy.
What are you talking about specifically? What game?
Halo.
Oh, Halo. Okay.
So just the fact that it's coming out later on, and I mean, it's of course not announced, but just the fact that it's coming out later on, I feel like it's gonna wait until some of these games like Spider-Man wash out and all these other ones, and we'll see. But
that game ain't watching.
Bro, we got a stack
single player game. It'll eventually wash.
Yeah, it's gonna wash.
Final Fantasy 16 within the year. I mean, dude, again, mindshare is from what I see carrying over from last gen to this gen. And we all saw the mindshare switch with, going from the PS2 to PS3 era. We saw how everyone was like, oh, PlayStation this, PlayStation that, to every commercial being an Xbox commercial, them securing multiple exclusives, Ninja Gaiden was one of my favorite ones back then. Another thing, it was Ninja Gaiden Black, only on Xbox. I remember seeing that on the damn box, and I was like, damn it. But yeah, I mean, PuertoRock, I heard you trying to jump in real quick.
Yeah, so the thing we got to consider is momentum, right? So launch like November, December, maybe a little bit of January is not really a good indicator of what people want, right? Because the first 3 months is all about the hardcore, the diehard fans. Let's be honest. If you're a PlayStation dude, you're getting a PlayStation, right? Launch. If you're Xbox dude, you're gonna get an Xbox, right? So you got those two groups who's gonna get it, and it doesn't even matter if you have a good launch lineup or not. They're just gonna get it, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have the tech enthusiasts, right? Those guys, they don't even care about PlayStation or Xbox. They just want it because it's the new box, right? They might, Then you got the content creators now. So I think they're going to play a big role in launch numbers because they're getting it just for the sake of their channel and content creation, right? Yep. So you got all these groups, and the consoles are going to do really, really well just on the merit of being a fan, being a content creator, or being a tech head. But once you get past January and now you're into February, March, April, into the year, it's the hardcore guys that look at the games, right? And Microsoft put themselves in the position not having first party, which is weird, right? And Sony, the plan, they got Spider-Man, they got Demon Souls. I mean, and if Horizon sequel comes out and God of War comes out, they're gonna be like, it's just too many good games for that, right? And while these games are coming out, what is Microsoft doing to counter that? And they just can't be, play old games at better frame rates and resolutions and free upgrades. Most people ain't really gonna hear that. Yeah, it sounds good in the beginning, but after a while, you're gonna be like, okay, Mike, like, what are you doing with your console? When is an actual big game coming out first? And after a while, Microsoft's already in a bad position making, right? Yep. Because that's been the complaint for like the last 4 years or so, at least 4 years. That Microsoft doesn't have big games. Like, where are the big games? And everybody kept saying, wait for E3, wait for E3. Well, now, next gen is about to launch, and none of the E3s fulfilled our promise, right?
Facts.
So at least the assumption was, okay, you didn't do anything for this gen for the last 4 years. Okay, that means you got something for next gen, and you're going to kick off, the next gen hot, because what have you been doing the last 4 years, right? You had to be doing something. Now we're seeing right off the gate they're not doing anything either. So gamers are like, "What the hell? Like, come on now! Like when is this gonna happen? Like, you didn't do anything during the Xbox One the 4 years. You're not kicking off the gen with a new $499 console with games. When is the games coming, right? And while people are having that conversation, PlayStation's like, "Look, we got this, we got that. Oh, we got that God of War Ragnarok." And that momentum hurts. If Microsoft has to do something. Microsoft definitely has to do something before next November. If they don't have Halo out by next November, shit. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you at that point. Because you can only rely on Xbox One games. And I'll say this. I know on Twitter I troll a lot, right? I have no issues with backwards compatibility, right? It's a good thing. You paid for it. If you have it, you enjoy your library, and I'm sure a lot of gamers didn't play every game in their, library, right? So it's good to be able to still play it. And if the company can do something to make it even better, 60 frames, maybe add some ray tracing, that's cool. That's all good, right? All right. But at the end of the day, these new consoles got to have new games. That's always been the bread and butter of a new console generation, right? We got to play the new games. What is the new content for this console, right? And no console can just go too long with just, hey, play old games, right? Especially in my opinion, right? If Xbox One games didn't make, Xbox One the hotness of our current gen, then what is an Xbox One game going to do for the new gen? If it didn't do anything, if it didn't do much for your old gen, it's not going to do much for the new gen. You guys know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like you're trying to advertise your Xbox Series X with games that really didn't help Xbox One become the hot console either. But yeah, you want to use the same library. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, does it make sense what I'm trying to say? No, if people are saying, yo, Xbox One needs games, and now you come out with a new console and you're like, hey, play Xbox One games, and you're like, wait a minute, like, bro, come on, Like, what are you doing? You know,
we already played.
like we just told you Xbox One games, and now you're still telling us. You know, I mean, backwards compatibility is good, it's great. The things Microsoft is trying to advertise with automatic HDR, all of that is fantastic. But it's still a new console, and new consoles need new games. You know,
well, just to quote CC about 10 minutes ago, he said, "Xbox players, we don't mind waiting."
I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
The hardcore ones, you know.
But what are y'all waiting
me
for,
at
though?
all.
They're not doing nothing for y'all. So what is the point of waiting when you know?
And on top of that, and we talk about 60 frames, 120 hertz, 140 hertz, 4K, all that. But the casuals, they don't care. Casuals don't know specs. Casuals do not know specs. They don't care about specs. They could all they would care about, oh damn, the graphics look better. That's the extent of what a casual would look at. But you need new shit. Like PuertoRock said, you need new games in order for you to push somebody to your house. You know what I'm saying? Like my house is PlayStation. My game, I got all the new games. I got everything here. Everyone's coming to my house. No one's going to Xbox house. No one's going there. No one wants it.
Yeah, and that makes the Bethesda
Because they're all at home,
make
not
more
playing
sense, right?
online with them.
Y'all playing online multiplats. Okay, well go ahead, $.
No, I'm saying that's what makes the Bethesda purchase make more sense, because Xbox did lose a lot of credibility like this current generation, but then they're like, oh, but look, now we got these guys. Yeah, they kind of killed it this current generation.
Here's the thing, how long though? You know what I'm saying? How long is it going to take for them to push something new out? You know what I mean? They got nothing coming out this.
They've been working.
Well,
Games take 3 to 4 years.
It's a great move. There's no doubt about that. I even said it. Like, this is bold. Like $7.5 billion grabbing Fallout, Elder Scrolls. That's bold, right?
Facts.
But and I say that's great for podcasters. Like, we know about it, we podcast about it, we tweet, we talk about it. But for the consumer who sees their games in the store, they don't know about this, and it doesn't mean anything until they could actually either download it or buy it off the shelf.
Exactly.
So when does this big power move come into fruition? Into, oh snap, I gotta get an Xbox because this game right here on the shelf, I gotta get it right now. Hey, you in a counter? Yeah, give me that game right there. When does that happen? How long would it take? Because we can't go 2-3 years of, oh, remember Bethesda? Microsoft bought Bethesda. Then the next year, hey, we bought Bethesda. Then the year after, we still bought them. And then the year after, yeah, we still bought. Like, okay, like we don't play company purchases. So that's so the Microsoft has to play, in a role, and I hope Bethesda had projects. I hope they were already working on Fallout or something, already had it in the works where maybe like within the next 2 years it'll be out. I'm hoping for that. I know they got that Star game. What's it called?
Starfield.
Yeah, Starfield. Yeah. So hopefully that's a big game. Hopefully that's like their new IP that's on the level of Fallout and but in space and stuff. I think that would be pretty cool, and that would definitely be helpful. But from what I heard, like it's gonna take a while, or did they say something like Starfield will be ready when it's ready or something?
Yeah, basically like we'll get it when it's ready. I think they learned from Halo that it's not don't put no dates out there because it might come back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah, so they're smart about that. Then you know what I'm saying, and I'll say this from a podcaster's perspective, right? And all of us talking about the industry. One of the beyond just having the IPs and the developers, Microsoft kept the publishing side of Bethesda intact. And a lot of people bypassed that, they didn't really talk about it. But when I read that statement from Phil Spencer, I'm like, people have no idea how that was such a smart move. Because in my opinion, Bethesda's a better publisher than Microsoft first party proper. Those guys know how to advertise their games. They know when something doesn't look right, they won't present it. Those guys are much smarter at being publishers than what Microsoft first party, publishers are. And I think that was a great move that they kept them, and maybe they can learn something from them, because let's be honest, like my main concern is not even the hardware or anything on Xbox, it's their publisher. Like who greenlight Halo Infinite to show on that show? Like, it's not even a joke. Of course we all troll.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, think about it. If we were all in the room, right? Let's pretend we were all in Microsoft headquarters, all of us, right? Mm-hmm. And 343 shows us that game the way it is. Like, hey, this is what we plan to present at the showcase next week. And we're like, all right, cool. Let's see it. And we see that. Who here would vote, yeah, let's go with this plan?
I wouldn't. You
Hell nah, none of us. I'd be like, I would be like, hold on, hey, you with the coffee, serving donuts, yeah. Punch this dude in the face.
like, right?
Like, I will tell the guy serving coffee, you want a promotion? Yeah, punch this dude in the face. Like, what are you thinking?
Right now, punch him in the face.
Punch him in the face right now. And you know, like, I don't think any gamer in the world would like that game being showed on the showcase. And but yet they did. And that's the stuff I question. I'm like, you guys really couldn't have known that this looks bad? Like, you needed the backlash to let you know this game needs to be delayed.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because right up to the showcase, they said, yeah, this game's coming out in November. I was like, I'm like, this game, like, no, it's not. There's no way.
Do you understand how many channels that had to go through in order for it to be shown? That's what baffled me. You know what I mean?
No one said no. Like, not one person. Not one person said
no, that's still wild to me.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know. I
Home
mean,
of the yes men.
that dude just.
it has to be.
Did you see his face? Like, I mean, that thing did not even look pixelated. Like,
Yo,
I'm not gonna lie. Like, that was. Whoever cleared that definitely needs to get fired right now.
If I was in that room and everybody's like, yeah, this looks great, I'm gonna be like, you all are crack. Every single one of you.
But then at the same time, they're showing games like Forza.
Yeah, I would be fired, but you know, if I was fired, I'd go on Twitter, I'd be like, hey, you guys are about to see a shit show tomorrow. I'll be that dude right now. If they would have fired me, I'd be like, hey, prepare for a shit show tomorrow. You're gonna watch.
The smart thing, Microsoft, what I wish they would have done is like game in, like, you know, they showed the gameplay and then game in development. You know what I mean? Like not
Yeah.
you know, full blown saying like, hey, this is coming out November, and then
It'll be like, yeah, this is
y'all should
it
just
was bad, man. Yeah,
put the little caption game in development.
yeah, game like pre-alpha footage or something. Like, yo. Something. But that's my main concern with actually Microsoft. Do they have the right people to really be real? And I think at least with Bethesda, keeping the publishing side, hopefully they could learn a thing or two on how to be a true publisher and recognize, hey, this is how you advertise your games. This is what you guys need to do when you do a show. When you have your Inside Xbox, this is what you guys need to do. Now that Bethesda's part of them, hopefully Bethesda can teach them. Yeah,
They need to give them some executive positions.
Yeah, promote them. Make, you know, put some Bethesda execs at the head of the table for first party, so they can fix everything.
That's actually something we talked about on this show, you know, with the Bethesda purchase, you know, the fact that Microsoft has all these studios. Do you think like some of these bigger studios are going to absorb the smaller ones, and then like allocation of like, you know, maybe this studio is weaker on the creative side or storyboard side, and then just kind of filtering through and shifting around certain developers and creators and from one area to another?
Depending on the studio, I would, you know what I'm saying? Especially the smaller indie studios that they got.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you're all one first party family, right? And the idea is to cultivate great games, maybe share tool sets, concepts, ideas, you know. And but this is a huge company, and they got a good, you know, it's beyond just the games. It's the development tools, the experience, like we already said, the publishing. I don't think people really understand what Microsoft bought. You know, it's not just Fallout and Elder Scrolls. They bought immense studio talent, productivity. They work well together. They got publishing. Like, Bethesda knows what to do. You know, Bethesda ZeniMax runs their online, so they got, you know, Elder Scrolls Online. People forgot about that. Like, Elder Scrolls Online now falls under Micro. That ain't going away.
And they're about to drop some more new shit on there.
Yeah, people forgot about that. That's owned by ZeniMax, and guess what? PlayStation games are on that, so that definitely won't be going on PlayStation. But you know, so they got a huge company that can really help out the weaknesses of Microsoft first party and augment them and make them better. Maybe even, like you said, like somebody mentioned, promote them and put them in the position to better run the first party across all games, not just the Bethesda games, but you know, when it comes to Forza and everything else, you know. Really give out some good ideas and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I think that was a great idea. I mean, a great point made by CoolHand. Like, yeah, we know, like you just said, PuertoRock, they just acquired a shit ton of really good talent, right? That can kind of fill in those spaces for, you know, their weaker studios, right? So we know ever since 2018, they've been, you know, buying studios like Maniacs, which is great. But my only concern with that is like, okay, are y'all like really cooking up some stuff that, you know, behind the scenes, like whatever the initiative's doing, or are we gonna get more games like I'm sorry, it's not coming to mind. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Grounded.
Yeah, like Grounded is not the way to gain mindshare, and I get it. We all, you know, just like PlayStation, we have Ratchet, right? You got to do your kids games, you know, just like we had Knack and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But I hope with these purchases that they're listening to what gamers actually want, right? People, you know, God of War came out, people loved it. And guess what? They know, okay, people want more of that. Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima. And, you know, with this, they can probably save some money. Not that it matters in Microsoft's case, but, you know, with marketing deals, they got their own juggernaut who's going to, you know, do that marketing. They got Bethesda. So, but yeah, I think maybe, hopefully, someone at Bethesda is up in that board meeting like, yo, y'all need to scrap these games and we need to start coming out with some shit that gamers actually want. Because on the PlayStation side, I don't think they've missed. Has there been and anyone could chime in, has there been a PlayStation exclusive game that has not hit the mark?
Knack?
In terms of reviews?
It depends on the game. It is with PlayStation, they compete with themselves, right? So if you have like a big game like The Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man, and you're like, oh man, boom, 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 then Days Gone came. I think it's a good game, but obviously it didn't do what Spider-Man did or what Horizon Zero Dawn did, you know? So it's really hard to gauge. But I think overall, you know, I think Sony did really good with their portfolio. I think overall they really put out a lot of good titles that people were like, man, this is just a lot of great titles from their first party. And the thing is, some of their titles compete with the very best from third party. And I would say, out of all things I miss from Microsoft, right, or Xbox, is that they at least usually come out with the big multiplayer, right? You know, like remember Halo 3? That thing was huge. That thing will go to with Call of Duty month to month on most played. You know what I'm saying? And then when Gears of War first 3 games came out, right? And then when Xbox One, like Halo and Gears kind of like fell off from that. You know, I don't know what happened. It wasn't the same. You know what I mean? It didn't have that big, like, oh man, like takeover and stuff like that. And Microsoft didn't replace them. You know, they didn't create a new IP that had that big multiplayer that everybody's like, yo, this is Xbox. This is because I think multiplayer was always a big part of Xbox identity. That big multiplayer platform, you know, and they didn't do a good job this gen with that, you know. It's just weird.
That's what I kind of get on these guys about. I'm like, okay, I get it, and I can see definitely differences in Xbox and PlayStation players. You know, it's not that PlayStation guys don't like to play online. We do, and guess what? We're playing the same online games as you guys. I'm just saying, is like, if you're not getting anything exclusive on Xbox, is a controller to play a multi-plat game really worth it? Like, I get it. Everyone has their preferences, and it could be more than the controller. It could be the UI or whatever your personal reason is. But again, even though, like PuertoRock said, Xbox kind of had the identity initially as the shooter box, right? The, you know, Xbox Live, which is groundbreaking and started kind of like the whole online gaming community as a whole. Even though, you know, PS2 had that brick on the back, but that's something else. You know, they really fell from grace when it came to multiplayer games, right? Like, no one's talking about Gears 5 online or Halo 5 online. I'm sure they did pretty good, but again, it's not going toe to toe with your Fortnites, your Call of Duties, and I get it. These are third party, you know, mega games, but that's what Xbox was known for, you know. Going back to the LAN party days.
Yeah. Now I would say Microsoft was smart making Halo multiplayer free to play. I said, like, the Fortnite, Apex Legends, these games changed the game. Like, they're so big. A lot of gamers are having for war. I mean, even Call of Duty had to make a free to play. Like, who would have thought you'd be able to play Call of Duty for free? Like, whoever thought that day would come, right?
Yeah, microtransaction came.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and Microsoft making Halo multiplayer free to play, that's huge. That's huge. Like, and that was a smart move. Like, in my opinion, if Naughty Dog is making their new Factions game, it has to be free to play.
Oh,
It has to be. It has to be free to play because it's not gonna go far if it's not free to play. You know what I mean? It's just the industry changed with multiplayer. You got big multiplayer that everybody playing, and they don't have to pay a dime to play it. So you know, it's just the way it is. I think.
Yeah, look at Genshin Impact. I mean, it was free to play game. It did insane numbers. The highest grossing, highest performing Chinese developed game of all time. And you know, months before it came out, everyone just like, oh, what's this Breath of the Wild clone? It's, you know, you're right. Fortnite, it changed the business of online gaming, and it's like, hey, before where we used to monetize with like I'll use Xbox 360 for example, map packs, right? How much were map packs back in the day? Like $10-15?
Yeah.
They rather you take that $10-15 and say, hey, no, play our game for free. But guess what? You're gonna see the other guy with all these skins, and you're gonna take that same $10-15 and you're gonna buy a battle pass. You're gonna be buying extra skins and stuff. $, how much money have you spent on Fortnite? No cap.
I don't want to say.
Damn.
Hey, he's like filth.
Probably like $2,000 at this point.
Oh my!
$2,000?
What?
Oh my! What I tell you, get the bag.
I ain't gonna lie, man.
Shit,
I'll spend about $70.
Oh my god!
No,
God damn.
That's about $100.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
So yeah, just round that shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man! That I wasn't even hip, $, but hey, I still applaud though. I applaud you for still, you know what I'm saying, living in Dynamite.
Actually, no, that was cap. It's probably more close to $1,000.
Still.
Oh, so much better. Okay, now that's cool. Now it's all right.
Yeah,
You must really like Fortnite.
It takes skill. It takes legit skill. I ain't gonna lie.
It's so much fun.
So which takes more skill, the shooting or the house building?
It's the
Because I play yeah, exactly. It's the house building because I played it once and this dude built a fort and I'm like, yeah, I ain't doing this.
Yo,
But once you get there, I mean, once you get there, you're there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it's all muscle memory after a certain point. You just got to learn how to do it. You just got to sit in that lobby and just kind of make a small house and
this
get
dude
faster at it and faster and faster.
This dude built the mansion before I got 5 shots off. I'm like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when they're on PC, it'd be like that, honestly, because they're just like, I'm at the top of the map. All right, what's up?
yeah.
and then they snipe you. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not doing this.
they build the door right there at the top, and they just
Definitely intimidating, but I will say the level of skill that it brings out of you is pretty intense. So
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, I'm like, yeah, I can't do this.
I've been playing Fortnite since I think season 2. Yeah, was that
you got me hip to Fortnite season 2.
Yeah, I see. I got you hip, and I fell off so fast.
I've been playing since season 1.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Straight up.
I mean, Epic knows what they're doing, man. If they got people spending money, but again, to going back to the point, we're in a new era, and they figured out other ways to monetize. And just like P-Rock was saying with his wife, it's like, okay, you can wait 24 hours, or you can just buy this right now. You can continue playing. You know.
Let me jump in here real quick. But I even want to mention, even just because we were talking about Fortnite, is, I mean, you know, they started with this great model, and they even still have the, what is it, Save All Worlds on the other side. And that still costs like 30, maybe $40 to buy, which is kind of like their campaign.
Oh, the campaign that no one plays?
Right. But I mean, you can still get V-Bucks in there, which is currency and money, and then you can transfer that to online, which is dope. You can choose to spend it either or.
Oh, dope.
It's not, you know, super advertised or anything like that. But even that model would be pretty fine for a lot of people, because then they can still experience the game online if they want to play it. And, you know, if they're truly excited about the game, they'll buy the game.
But don't you?
Gamers are going to be gamers.
Don't you have to buy the single player though separately?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is still Fortnite's still free to play, but, you know, like, Dollar Sign said, he's clearly spent money on the game. Like, he liked it because it was free, and maybe he would still like the campaign if he had to pay for it. But he never had to pay for the game to, fall in love with it. But he might pay for it afterwards.
True. I mean, I do see where you're going with it. I don't know. I just think there's always room for both, right? You always got room for this type model, and you're always going to have room for your single player one and done games like God of War, which was a masterpiece. Had literally no multiplayer. Once you were done with the game, it's over, right? They give you New Game Plus like any game does now, but that's the great thing about gaming. There's room for all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, hey, let's move on to onto another topic. Let's talk about while we're on the heels of talking about Xbox and the games or lack thereof. Xbox put out a list of 30 games fully optimized on the Xbox Series X and Series S on launch day. Kind of like what PuertoRock was saying before. I mean, these are all games, for the most part, cross-gen games that were built to play on current gen, right? And they're getting some patches, maybe some updated textures and frames. And just kind of going off the list, I'll just kind of like run down it real quick. And y'all tell me if there's anything on this list. And I'm talking to you, Xbox guys specifically. Tell me if there's anything on here which you're like, I got to get that. Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Borderlands 3, Bright Memory 1.0, Cuisine Royale. Oh damn!
Ooh,
Dead by Daylight.
You know I'm about to get that. That sounds lit. About to chef it up. What's up?
Make some Cuisine Royale.
Check out my flambe.
That's what Xbox guys talking about. Dirt 5, which we don't want to talk about Dirt 5 on the Series S. Trailer trash. Enlisted, Evergate, The Falconeer, Fortnite, big surprise. Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Gears
definitely copping for Forza.
Gears Tactics, which I think will be the first on an Xbox because they dropped it on PC before Xbox. Grounded, King Oddball, Maneater, Manifold Garden, NBA 2K1, Observer, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Planet Coaster,
definitely Ori.
Sea of Thieves, Tetris Effect, The Tourist, War Thunder, Warhammer, Watch Dogs Legion, WRC 9, World Rally Championship, Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is on PS4 right now, and Yes, Your Grace. Yo, I'm not going to lie. Besides the obvious standouts, I don't recognize any of these games on this list, bro. Like, half these don't sound like indie.
Hey,
not going to
look, let me just cycle back to my point. Now that they're free, well, you pay for it, obviously, but now they have more access to it. These people that may have never tried them in the past may now fall in love with a new title they've never tried before because they were hesitant on that initial first purchase anxiety, and they didn't want to have to pay for a brand new title that they were unaware of, or none of their friends play, or something like that. And now they can truly explore as a gamer. And I mean, it's just opening up that world.
Yeah, I mean it is a little, they're optimized, right? But I don't know, P-Rock.
Hey, have you seen the optimized version of Star Wars? It's way better than the old one. I'm just saying.
P-Rock, is there anything on that list that stood out to you?
Not really. I think we have to admit. I know a lot of us kind of disappointed with cross-gen gaming, right? Because we finally got a console. I mean, most of us remember 2013 Jaguar cores and this weak hardware. We're like, okay, whatever, right? But now they're talking about Zen 2, RDNA 2. I mean, they hyped us up for months with this great tech. And now, they're holding it back. And I get the business side, right? You got 100 million gamers. You got 50 million games on Xbox. They can't completely dump them, right? But specifically to Microsoft, I'm like, man, this is rough. Like anybody buying the Xbox Series X, like I said, is a hardcore Xbox dude, hardcore fan, love Xbox. And I think it's more about the technology. It's just curious about the technology. But as from a gaming standpoint, it's pretty rough to say that you're buying this console or you're buying at launch. Let's just say that you're getting it day one because of the game, because you're not. No one's getting this. And to a certain extent, you could say a little bit the same way as a PS5 because you could play Miles Morales on a PS4. You know what I'm saying? I think the only game you can't play on the PS4 is Godfall and
Demon Souls.
Oh yeah, right. So at least there's at least 2, right? But for the most part, it's a hard sell to say, "Oh, yeah, I'm a day one buyer because of the games." You're like, are you sure about that?
I got really excited for Fable. You know?
Yeah, but it's not day one though. You know what I'm saying?
But again, I'm okay with waiting.
That's what it is. It's the promise of what more you're gonna get. And I'll be honest, one of the exciting things is the load times. I'll be honest, that is exciting for me on both platforms. Just next gen, just because some games, especially like Rockstar game, you there forever, and you're like, oh shit.
Tell my Xbox guys,
yeah, it's long. Like
wait.
Some games the load times is getting ridiculous now, and so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the technology side on that. But yeah, as far as the games span standpoint, it's like, ooh, this is rough. Like, I know dude's ready to play Gears 5 again. I'm like, oh man, this is rough.
That's what I'm saying, and that's dope and all, but you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's cool. It's great to wait, but right now, how long are you gonna wait? Because at this point, with the amount of
I have so many games in that Game Pass that I can explore.
Enjoy your glorified Fire Stick. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is at this point. It's a glorified streaming station. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to Amazon Prime, download your Netflix, download your HBO Max, download whatever you got to download and to enjoy the reason why you bought that Xbox now. Until the game.
You're talking about the creation of something great. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is still the beginning of Game Pass and what it's going to be. So, I mean,
correction, Game Pass been around for 3 years.
And not the beginning, but it's moving. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's just going to explode overnight. Nothing really does.
With no new games, you just got a glorified Chromecast.
Hey, look, but they were doing something revolutionary about 3 years ago. So, they're just slowly working at it, and it may take longer, but, look, they're making strides in that success. So,
I can hear the pain in your voice from saying that, man.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, he's creating just more opportunity to play more games. And
once these games start dropping for the box only that are created by ZeniMax, the tone's going to change.
But that's if they're making money and they're moving the needle in terms of
it's a when
share.
It's going to be a when.
Yeah.
So
it'll be at first you won't get it, and then eventually you might. That is how it'll be.
Go ahead, P-Rock.
Yeah, so like a battle, so like I said, Bethesda's huge, right? And it's a question of when. When is a good question, right? When is these big games going to come out? And let's be honest, the big game we talk about is Fallout and Elder Scrolls. That's the real answer, right? When is Fallout 5 coming out? When is Elder Scrolls, whatever region they name? Elder 6, and they name after continent, whatever. That's the real question. But now we have to look on Sony, right? What will Sony release before then? Because Sony, like normally Sony don't have big games out this early. I think you remember Sparse, first party Sparse, is Indie Station and all that. Like if you look historically, PlayStation usually takes a little bit for Sony to come out the gate and come out with big titles, right? So when Microsoft comes out, finally with Elder Scrolls or finally with a Fallout, what would Sony have before then to make it where it's like, damn, Microsoft, yeah, you came out with Elder Scrolls, but damn, by the time you came out with Elder Scrolls, Sony came out with God of War. They came out with Horizon. We got Spider-Man. And then Naughty Dog came out with their new IP. Hey, God forbid, Guerrilla comes out with SOCOM. Like, at a certain point, it might be just like, hey, this gen's over. Like, cool, you came out with Elder Scrolls, but yeah, you ain't winning it. Like, the decision's done. PlayStation's already at 75 million. You guys are at 25. Like, it's over. Like if you remember the PS, and perfect example is the PS2, right? The PS2 in its first year had Devil May Cry, Gran Turismo 3, Grand Theft Auto 3, Metal Gear Solid 2, Final Fantasy 10.
10, yeah.
It was over. That's it. Like think of all the games I just named in the first year. It was done. The console war was over. Like, what can you do with that? Metal Gear, Final Fantasy, Grand Theft Auto 3, Gran Turismo, Twisted Metal Black. it was a wrap. It was Devil May Cry. It was just way too many games in the first year that at this point it was like, yeah, it's over. Like, yeah, you know, Microsoft, yeah, you came out with Halo, great game, but
a year later,
yeah, but it didn't matter. Like, it was too late. PlayStation it already got the hearts of everybody.
Just to go with what you're saying, P-Rock, launch window lineup for PlayStation so far is Demon Souls, Godfall, Miles Morales, Final Fantasy 16, God of War Ragnarok, GT7, Horizon Forbidden West, Kena Bridge of Spirits, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Returnal. Like,
and how many of those are you about to realistically get?
Now that's a question, because you know Sony. The one thing I say that's good, I mean bad, but good about Sony is depending on how you look at it, they will delay some shit if it's not coming out right. They will delay something real quick. They have no problem saying, yeah, we ain't coming out. And sometimes the game looks good, like when Horizon Zero Dawn was revealed, it looked good, but they're like, yeah, we're delaying it. The Last of Us, it looked good when The Last of Us 2 was first shown, but they delayed that too. So Sony, they definitely are about high quality. And if it's not ready, they delaying it. So it's true. That's a good question. When will these games actually come out in 2021? But if they do, oh man,
it's
like, yo, it's a wrap.
That John Sally, let's go home. Time to go home.
Yo, it's gonna be crazy. Like, oh man.
But you're telling me you're gonna sit here and buy every single one of those?
Oh hell yeah! I'm gonna swipe that debit card.
Right?
If I have to take out a loan, I don't get shit. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Oh,
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, this definitely might be a year I get a PlayStation, but
I have to.
I did not hear that. I did not expect that.
No, I mean, it's been a thought.
It will be after.
But again, I mean, it's kind of to PuertoRock's point, and you know, I'm a serious gamer at the end of the day, and I just like to play with my friends. And at the end of the day, you guys are all my friends, and I still want to enjoy these games with my boys, and that's why I love gaming.
Sound about the
I mean, imagine CC's like, yeah, don't worry, I got Game Pass. You know, some old game. You know, he's playing his Xbox Series X, and he'd be like, new to Game Pass, Condemned. And you're like, all right, whatever. And then all of a sudden, like, iTrip come out. Yo, I'm playing that new God of War. And CC like, man, screw Condemned. I ain't playing this trash. Let's get out of here. You know, boot up this God of War. We're gonna do.
But it's not like it's just you can only have one system. You know, we live in the day and age where, you know, a lot of us are fortunate enough that you can afford to get more than one console.
Yeah,
I'm be able to have a PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. You know, but again, Oculus too. That sounds.
You gotta have 2 of the 3. You gotta have 2 to 3, because if you only have one, you're gonna be missing out on a lot of content, a lot of good content. That's one thing I would definitely say. You gotta have whatever your combo, unless it's PC and Xbox. That combo don't make sense. Like, because you're really getting the same shit between the two. Like, I mean, I'm being honest. It's the truth.
VR on PC though, PuertoRock.
You know what I'm saying? VR, well, that's true. PC got VR.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
VR.
So that's the reason why I'm choosing PC over Xbox, is really because of PC VR. That's just fire. That's fire. For PC VR is fire. I'm like, so I gotta get that. You know?
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, man. I got it. I did our first podcast actually in full VR, and that shit was wild. Let me tell you.
In VR, PuertoRock on YouTube.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna check that out,
I had like 100-foot screen in front of me, just showing me what's going on, what we were talking about.
This is crazy, right?
No, I mean, like to really get that immersive feel is what I say is what we are all really looking for as a gamer. Yeah. You know, we've gone through it as 2D to 3D, and now we want that immersive feel. Like, I want to really shoot that gun at you. Yeah. Not to get dark, but you know, I really want to know if I missed the shot, or if I actually missed it, or you know, you can aim down the sight and just really get that immersive feel. If you don't hit the shot, you don't hit the shot, or you can truly not see your shot and aim around the corner with your arm and just blind fire.
So I know I'm going over your house when you get that Omni one, that VR joint.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Omni One VR control. We talked. Anyone listening? We talked about it last week. It's like a fully immersive home VR controller.
Basically, what you saw in Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Like the beginning stages. Like, it's here.
Oh yeah, it's very close.
I do want to. I kind of want to use this moment to kind of shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about this. Oh, and before I do that, PuertoRock, are you playing Ghost of Tsushima's multiplayer mode?
Man, I'm almost done with the single player. Man, that game is long as hell. I'm like, God damn. But yeah, hopefully I think by this weekend I should have it beat, and then I'm gonna get into the multiplayer.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you I'm gonna send you a friend request after the show.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Don't is crazy, like crazy good. The customization, it's on the next level compared to the single player, and it's just fun. Like I was a little wary on the formula. I'm like, Ghost of Tsushima Online. I was like, maybe. But then once you're actually in there and you see how it works, you're just like, oh my God.
Not even that. It's like a pleasant surpand. Like just them announcing that, hey, we're going to have a online, game. And I was like, what?
Yeah, but it panned out very good though.
Yeah.
It's really good. But yeah, let's switch topics. And I'm actually speaking.
There's a raid coming out. I think in 2 weeks they're doing the raid for Ghost of Tsushima.
That's why finish the game fast, level up. Bro.
Yeah, the raid. Yeah, the raid. I didn't even know they were doing a raid. I'm like, wait a minute, a raid? I'm like, oh man, these dudes are. I'm like, these dudes are trying to get that game of the year. Like, they fighting for that game of the year title.
Wait a minute already. What? Like, who they got? Battletoads?
I don't know if Cyberpunk will count for this year.
I think Cyberpunk will be right after the cutoff, but Jeff Knightley, he could do whatever the hell he wants. A Game Awards is his thing. But talking about my experience with Ghost of Tsushima, one thing that I'm not crazy about, and the next topic, and this is for anyone who experiences, you can chime in. PlayStation or PS4 8.0 update. While it did bring some new things, for me it was just a buggy mess. I mean, I can't go playing a match of Ghost of Tsushima more than 10 minutes without getting an error message saying that it's not connected to the network, and then I just hit X, and then I'm just returned to the online match as I just got killed for that error coming up. So I know everyone has been having different experiences with this new update, but for me, it's been a pain in the ass, and I need Sony to. Sorry, my mic.
That's how angry he was.
Yeah, I mean, geez.
Yeah, so mad.
We get it.
That rage bit right there.
So Ghost of Tsushima did release a patch, and in the patch notes, it does say that the patch fixes a frequent network error pop-up. So hopefully there's less of that while you're playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Different ones, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've gotten different ones. For instance, if I'm in a party chat, it'll say like I left the party, and I've gotten like quit out of game, but I haven't quit out the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all I have to do is press circle, and I'm back in it playing normally. But I've gotten different kinds, and it's not just in Ghost of Tsushima. I've gotten it in Fortnite. I got it in Rocket League, and and it's kind of. And I don't know if it's online specific because I haven't played any single player games in a while. But I mean, I've definitely had the problem. I don't know, Porter. I don't know if you've gotten that any kind of error message. Have you,
bruh? So after the 8.0 update, I went to the store to buy something. So I clicked on the store icon. The console turned off. It went into sleep mode.
No way.
I was confused. I'm like for a minute, I'm thinking, damn, did I accidentally go to sleep? Like, I honestly was bugging out. I'm like, wait. And then I had to press the home button to boot it back on. It literally went into sleep mode by me pressing the store icon. I pressed the store. I know I did. I know I'm not bugging that I put that thing to sleep. I'm like, yeah, let me go to the store. I hit the store. The screen booted up to blue, and then beep, and then it went to sleep. And I'm like,
God damn.
Even my TV turned off because, of the HDMI sync. Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, it's been weird stuff, and it's usually when I'm in game and I press the home button to back out and do something, go to the store or maybe check a message. Like another time, somebody sent me a message, so I backed out, went into the message thing, and like it didn't go to the message. It went to what did it do? It booted up the web browser.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? I'm like, yo, this thing's on crack. Like, what's wrong with this? Yeah, they really screwed up this 8.0 update. Yeah, it's doing some weird shit. Like, it's confusing the commands for me.
Really? Damn. Yeah. So I'm assuming everyone is having their own different thing.
That's what it's looking like. Yeah, everyone's having some people, they're barely getting. Yeah, I might get like once every other hour. It's like, yo, last time I checked, the smut system was hella stable. So to hear, stuff like this from PUERTOROCK and, everyone else, it's crazy, man. This is definitely the most frustrating yet joyful experience I've been having, because it's like I'm loving the multiplayer. It's so good. And then
8.0 has had so much controversy behind it, and these error messages don't help.
Yeah. Which will be another topic. Actually, that's a great segue into the next topic. Let's talk about it. So, so Sony did come out and apologize regarding the whole voice recording confusion. The messaging was pretty bad. Like, at first, I think people were definitely blowing it out of proportions initially. But they went ahead and clarified on their PlayStation blog that they're not sending your voice chats to Sony, but you can use voice chat to like report someone, and there's even like a time limit as well, where you basically can like record and it'll take like the 60 seconds that you hit record, and it'll do like 60 seconds before that and after that, and then it sends it to someone who deals with this, and they'll do a manual review and see if it was really offensive, if it was worth reporting or not. So, of course, we talked about it last week. There's definitely room for people to, abuse this feature, but I do like the fact that they're not just automatically banning people and shit like that. They're sending someone for review. Now, how many reviews can they handle, and how is that going to work? Are they, partially flagging people and then checking up on it later? Like, we don't know yet. It's kind of too early to tell. But I think it is good that they kind of quelled the fires a little bit, because yeah, man, people were tripping. This is like what people were talking about 2 or 3 years ago with the Xbox, when they announced the same thing essentially. I think theirs was more focused on messages. So if you sent someone like an obscene message on Xbox, like, F you, I'm going to kill you, you suck, I'm going to find, anything like that, yeah, you're flagged, you're banned. They have trigger words set up in the code that it'll pick these things up, and, they'll do what they got to do. So, I don't know, P-Rock, what were your thoughts on that whole controversy with the whole voice recording and all that stuff?
So, so there is concern. People do have legitimate concerns of any system like this could be abused, right? And I think the way Sony handles banning accounts is they just, and correct me if I'm wrong, like if you violate a term of service, they just shut your account down and you lose everything. Like especially if you're a digital gamer, and that's what I don't like. I like, to me, the punishment needs to fit the crime, right? So let's say, for example, you said something inappropriate, you talk trash, harass somebody, through voice chat, then they should just take your voice chat privileges, right? I don't see how that correlates to just shutting down your account, and now all the money you spend on games is taken away from you. That's one thing I don't like about Sony's policy. It doesn't make sense, right? You should still be able to play the games that you bought, especially single player games, right? It has nothing to do with online functionality and stuff like that, right? So I think Sony needs to do a better job of fitting the crime, the punishment with the crime, right? But I think ultimately it was overblown, because apparently you got control settings to where if you don't want people recording you, they can't. Am I correct on that one?
Yes.
So you could just Go ahead. So explain if you know about it.
Yeah, I was going to say there is an option in the settings where you can turn that off, but it is in the terms of service, and this has been in the terms of service for a while. They just haven't implemented the feature until now. And personally, I think Sony kind of wanted to say, all right, let's just get the cat out of the bag before launch. That way, once the consoles are here, everyone will forget about it. So, again, it's similar to what Xbox did, and the Xbox had to do the same thing. That it's been like, whoa, everyone, hold your horses, chill out. It's not as bad as you all think. But like you said, PUERTOROCK, there's legitimate concern. I got a Google Home in front of me right now. I'll just be over here talking with the boys, and then it'll be like, I'm sorry, I didn't get that. And I'm like, wait, what? He said Google nothing, So, I mean,
he's like, Alexa, you better mind your goddamn business.
Oh yeah, I'll never get one of those things.
But I think ultimately what they're trying to do is prevent cyberbullying, right? Like, obviously, us being grown men, we're not experiencing cyberbullying when we're playing video games. We can, if someone tries to bully us, we can nip it at the butt. But there's, people out there that can't do that or don't have the confidence to do that. So this helps them out.
Yeah, but I mean, the Eighth Amendment protects us against cruel and
but for the most part,
punishment. So I'm just saying, if like they're just wiping your shit clean, that is just not okay. Like that is someone's livelihood in this text.
That's definitely going way too far.
I mean,
They're taking all your games.
My man said, "You violating my constitution." Right?
That's why I don't like PlayStation. They be violating my rights, but
your rights, but they be giving them bangers that you want to play.
And they'll take them right away from you too.
Yeah, and they take it right away from you. The Lord give it
to someone.
The Lord give
it. Nobody to go back inside their mother no more. Like that's not.
Oh snap!
You pulling that one from last week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but Sony did tweet out, as you guys can see the tweet on the screen. They said, "Hey folks, just want to let you know that we're looking into your feedback on the recent changes to parties on PS4. Thank you for picking up. We'll keep you posted." That's what we want to hear. Like, okay, you're acknowledged. We're not going to just forget about it. Even if it's a minute change they make. I mean, hey, shit, we'll take something, right? But the fact that they're acknowledging, which Microsoft. I mean, it's not just these companies. I mean, developers do the same thing for certain games. You cry out, enough of the community cries out about a certain feature or something like that. I remember playing Destiny 1 and being in the Bungie forums, and motherfuckers are complaining left and right. And guess what? Eventually something happened, Now, it wasn't how we wanted, because at that time, Activision was involved in that deal. Activision, the money-hungry bastards. But, it's good to get that acknowledgement that, hey, we're working on it, we're looking into it. We're going to see how it fits into our plans, how we can make a change that doesn't anger the investors or whoever, So, yeah, that's good that they said something. Any of my Xbox guys, you guys got any comment on this?
I can't believe that.
Or is it still F PlayStation?
I mean,
All right. Well, let's move on.
More fire and vigor from that. You know what I'm saying? I expected more venom.
Disappointed. You guys got enough venom to deal with them taking your shit. Like, plenty of venom.
You got something they can take away. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh man, the fact that they can take it away.
Take away my Gears 5. I'll live.
No,
I'll wait.
Most Xbox people are Gears or Halo, not both.
That's what I'm saying. You could take away my Gears 5, bro. Like, I'm fine. I'll live.
Take away my Halo, I'm taking away somebody from you.
That's it. My man's gonna visit. He gonna go out to. He's gonna go out to Redmond. He's gonna go to Microsoft headquarters. Like, hold up.
Yeah.
Funny enough, there's I know a couple of gamers that are core straight.
Seattle, right? Let's go straight over there.
Yeah. But I know a lot of gamers, they have not adopted digital gaming. They still buy 100%.
Oh, never will I buy another disc. I mean, at first, I'm not gonna lie. I said the same thing. I was like, "Fuck that! They're gonna try to take my games away or something." Like, I ain't playing that shit. But like, eventually, once I had to keep switching it, and then I had some games that were already downloaded, I was like, "Yo, why the fuck do I buy these? Like, this is
like, honestly, the convenience of just having them all there.
Convenience is nuts.
Play.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah.
I do want to get your opinion on this, P-Rock. What do you think? So, staying on topic, what we're just talking about right now, how do you feel about the whole digital versus physical? Do you think that, like, not, people kind of moving away from physical kind of like messes with, the whole thing with like game preservation? I'm not saying that in 30 years you don't want to boot up your PS5, but if you did, having a disc versus, oh shit, this doesn't connect to the, PlayStation Store anymore. Do you think there's something to be said there?
It's a hard question because at the end of the day, right, whether you're digital or physical, the games are played off the hard drive, right? So they both end up in the same spot, right? I think what it comes down to is ownership. People have a better sense of ownership just having something physical, right? And then the security of, okay, you may shut down my account. I'll just create a new one and then I'll reinstall it and boom, I got it, right? And then you got guys like us also that kind of like digital because of the convenience. Because it's true, you don't want to, when you boot up a game, okay, switch this, put that disc, right? Or if you travel with your console, do anything, you got to carry 5 or 6, 10 discs, right? So it's very convenient to have digital. So
scratches too.
Yeah, that too. But I think ultimately, digital is going to primarily take over. It's just way too convenient. You don't have to worry about shipping or disc getting scratched. You can re-download your games anytime you want. I think it's just ultimate. And I will say this:
gotta wait at the store at midnight.
yeah. Remember those days, right? And I'm gonna say this: the industry's kind of in a slick way, kind of forcing gamers to do that, right? Because you ever notice they selling a game, but day one, you need a patch. You're like, wait a minute, what? Like, right? Yeah. If you bought it physical, you got to get a day one patch. And you're like, so then I should have just bought the shit digital from the get go. You know what I'm saying? So I think the majority, just like anything else with music, gaming will primarily be done all digital. I think everyone's gonna adopt that. And just like you said, it's gonna be easier to transition, especially that the consoles are x86. It's going to be easier to have, from digital to digital. They may not make a console with a physical drive. Maybe the PlayStation 6 or 7 would just be all digital.
Yeah,
that could easily happen. And then you can't do anything about it. Like you're stuck with it.
Yeah, what would have been a great idea? You know how like when Blu-ray first came out, you know what I mean? When that was the first thing, you bought the physical copy, but then they had the code for you to buy the digital edition.
Yeah, that would have been fine.
I wish Sony and Microsoft could have adapted that principle. That way I wouldn't have to buy the game twice. You know what I mean?
They're banking on you to buy that bitch.
Yeah, I know. But it sucks because, as the consumer, like I wish they would have adopted that principle, like from the Blu-ray DVD. You buy the physical copy, but then like you said, the CD gets scratched. You know what I'm saying? Not even, and it might not even be my fault, but it might just be like where, like, it just got worn out to the point where it just won't read it anymore. You know what I mean? So it gets to a point where, man, I wish I would have had like a code to come in, and when you open the box, it had the digital code, and I could have downloaded the digital copy. The digital copy. Wow,
that'd be so nice.
You got to look into the fact that manufacturing, if you're Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo, and people are coming to your store to buy it, you don't got to cut. You don't got to pay GameStop their cut. You don't got to pay Amazon their cut. You don't got to pay any of these people. It's direct to you. It's just between you and the
direct to your online store. They don't have to buy the plastic to put the games in the covers. They don't have to buy the CD. And not only that,
but I'm saying also the transition from Blu-ray to digital was so seamless. You know what I mean? Because they kind of eased you into just watching stuff online. Now you have all these streaming services, Netflix, HBO Max, Peacock and Hulu and all these other things, you know what I mean? And I'll say, I would probably give credit to like, the Blu-ray DVD to kind of, easing you into like, all right, well, it's great that I have, the physical copy, but then I also have, the digital copy. I own it. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
true. It's for like times where say the internet's not working. You want to just watch the movie. It's like, boom, you got it.
Well, I do want to say that Blu-ray, HD Blu-ray, right? The current gen of Blu-ray, if you're talking to a video file, they're going to tell you Blu-ray all day just because that bit rate, right? Mm-hmm. We don't have data to support streaming at the quality that HD Blu-ray is doing, right? So if you got yourself a nice LG CX.
No, I'm not saying as far as quality, but I'm just talking about in terms of availability. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, convenience.
I wish the gaming community would have adopted that principle.
Yeah, I mean, again, the thing with that is they got to print the disc out. They're like, why the hell am I going to go ahead and do all this trouble to give you a disc if you're just going to use the download code eventually?
Yeah,
Yes.
So it just.
So there's this interesting bit of news that I saw where GameStop and Microsoft just did a deal where if you purchase an Xbox at GameStop, Microsoft will give a small portion of the revenue, or the lifetime revenue of digital sales on that console to GameStop.
Huh.
Hold on. Repeat that one more time. I didn't follow.
So GameStop just got a deal with Microsoft where if you purchase an Xbox at GameStop, then throughout the lifetime of that console, GameStop will get a portion of those digital sales.
Oh, so let's say if any of us bought, let's say if we all bought Series X at GameStop, that means anytime we buy a game digital from Microsoft, GameStop is going to get a portion of the profit.
Yeah,
because they sold us the console. Oh wow.
Well, I want to give a big middle finger to GameStop because
I fucking hate GameStop. I will never buy a fucking game at GameStop or that shit at the GameStop. I hope your fucking business dies. Fuck you.
What did they do to you?
Oh, they got me fucking good. I came in with some heaters, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll give you like under $10." I was like, "Yeah, you can go fuck yourself. Fuck out of here." Oh, nah, no.
Yo, somebody going, I want that Spider-Man. Oh yeah, it's on Xbox. Here you go.
Oh, man.
They're trying to get that check.
Yeah, I don't know how
they treat their employees like shit. They fucking.
I don't know how GameStop is around. Honestly, I love their business model. They just rape you and then sell your game for triple the price.
Right, exactly. It's hilarious.
They gangster. You know,
right? That is some gangsta ass shit. Can't lie.
They give you $2 for a game and then they sell it for $50.
Yeah, I mean, they hustle you. They shook you down in the dark alley, took your game when you're at your lowest point in life. That you need a little bit of
the
cash.
best part is you came to them. That's what they did. That's the best part. They do that.
You got a low point right now. You need some cash. You trying to get a game? They got a nickel and dime you.
Well, if games going digital, this is like giving GameStop a little bit of a lifeline. So I don't think they're going away just yet. So you can thank Microsoft for that.
Good fucking job, Microsoft.
Now here's the catch-22 though, right? It's digital game sales, right?
Yeah. That's
so
correct.
it's primarily gonna be third party because I would think next gen most people are gonna be subscribing to Game Pass to play Microsoft first party. I don't think a lot of people are gonna be buying first party games. I think people will invest into Game Pass, which I don't think GameStop is going to get a cut of that. You know, so it's kind of like a catch-22. Like, yeah, you're going to get digital sales, and then Microsoft's like, yeah, it's too bad ain't nobody buying games with our shit. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's gonna be on Game Pass.
So they announced GameStop will get some percentage of the revenue from every digital full game download, DLC, microtransaction, and any subscription as well.
Oh, dang.
Wow.
So does this mean Microsoft has become part owner of GameStop?
That's some shit.
Because
it's probably going to be a very, very small percentage, and it's probably just to push them to market, Xbox more. So now GameStop has more incentive to sell a Xbox over a PlayStation.
And GameStop sold out.
Oh yeah, they definitely have incentive. That's huge.
Yeah,
that's a power move on Microsoft. I can't hate on Microsoft for them.
Yeah.
Yo, they be trying to fool you with the kumbaya, but then on the back, they hit you with a drug dealer stick up.
I still don't like it.
I got a question for everybody here, though.
I don't have to like it. Fuck GameStop.
But where are the games?
Oh, snap.
Back to this.
Talk all this. Microsoft about to buy GameStop.
Y'all need so many games because they're only worth 10, 15 hours max. And you're like, shit, I need to play something else. These guys need these games
on the
out all the damn time.
10 cents. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it goes, right?
That's crazy.
You only get 10 cents back. At least I get 10 cents on my dollar. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Podcast today, man. I was hoping for some more Xbox smoke, man. Come on.
Yeah, come on, man.
Man, don't be scared I'm here, man. I'm a friendly dude, man. You know?
we ain't trying to beef too hard, you know. We're trying to create relationships, not burn bridges here.
We're trying to grow.
Maybe the second show we can get a little spicier.
We feel Spencer out here. Kumbaya.
Kumbaya, that's it, man. Love to everybody. Everybody gets to play our games.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely. Next time we get you on PuertoRock, it'll be after launch. You know what I'm saying? A little more smoke. We'll know a little bit more.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? You know, everybody have a little.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We'll get this party lit.
I'll get some Forza in me and get that Gears in me. See
man.
what Grounded's about.
You gotta be squatted, yeah. Oh, Grounded's gonna look fire on the new TV.
Hey, you never know.
That shit's fun as long as you have the squad, because when them spiders come at you, like you gotta be squatted, yo.
All right, while y'all squadding with the spiders, me, PuertoRock, I'm sorry.
The only spider we worried about is Spider-Man. That's what we do.
That's
We're being
Spider-Man
Puerto
by
Rican Day
itself.
Parade with
Oh
Miles
yeah, we be flying in every part of the city with a Puerto Rican flag.
Y'all can squad up.
Screenshots.
Y'all can squad up on Grounded. You know, me, Nova, C-Dollah, and PuertoRock. We'll squad up on Ghost of Tsushima. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah!
We're playing that online game of the year out here.
For real.
I'm telling you. Go ahead, PuertoRock.
Yeah, overall, I'll be honest. I'm excited for next gen. I'll be honest. I'm more excited about this gen than I was in 2013. I'll be honest. 2013, I was not excited at all.
I think this is like a renaissance. You know what I'm saying? Like this gen sparked up some sort of renaissance because even the casual people that I know, you know, they're super excited. I've never seen a this was like a sneaker pre-order. You know what I'm saying?
Like Jordan's, right? Like
this is the biggest jump in console history. That's why.
Yeah, it's a resolution jump, right? When you went from PS2 to PS3, that was the resolution jump to HD, and this is the resolution jump to 4K. So a big next gen.
Plus the memory, the quick the no reload time, load time, like that's gonna be the next change in gaming.
Like, this is going from DSL to
that gig speed,
broadband,
fiber, right?
Yeah, man, we went. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, like
you got mail.
Oh, I remember those days,
man.
Well, we coming up on the 2-hour mark real quick, so I just want to get this last topic out the way because it's an important topic for me. You know what I'm saying? You got to save the best for last. So let's talk about it. Kojima Studios.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Kojima Productions. Let me bring that back. Is hiring for a new project. Obviously, we don't know shit past that, so this opens the door for some speculation talk, right? We all know that Stranding, either you loved it or hated it. It sold, all right. You know, they definitely broke even and they made some money. Kojima said that himself. It didn't sell as good as he wanted to because, you know, everyone just said, hey, it's a walking simulator, FedEx simulator, insert whatever simulator. That's Stranding. My personal opinion, I love the game. It did, I will say, a big takeaway. It took about 8 hours for it to get started. And I'm a huge Kojima fan, played every Metal Gear, played all his games. But even me, I was a little concerned until like it started to pick up. And then when it did, I was like, okay, you got me. So yeah, let's talk some speculation on this. Is this going to be another Sony property? Is he branching out and saying, is this going to be the first Kojima Productions game that's going to be, you know, multi-plat under his own thing? Like, what do y'all think? I'll start off with you. Or go ahead.
I was gonna say I think he's gonna keep it in house with Sony. You know, his last game was made with the Decima engine, which is proprietary to Sony. So I'm guessing he's gonna keep using that. It's probably gonna port over to PC eventually because one thing that was pretty surprising is Death Stranding got new legs when it got ported to PC. It had like the ultra wide support, the high FPS support, and that game is in one way or another a walking simulator, but it's like a walking simulator in this beautiful immersive environment, and being able to go into that environment with better specs, better graphics really gave the game some new life. So I think I don't know, I don't think he's going to do another game like that. I think he's probably going to do something more in line with Metal Gear. I think he really wanted to do something artistic. He got that got out of the way with Death Stranding, and now he's going to go back to what he's known for.
Okay. PuertoRock, what are your thoughts on this Kojima?
So this is an interesting question. I guess it could be. Obviously, he's going to go on PC, right? Because one of the advantages of Kojima leaving and starting his own studios, I think he wants to be, make games for more platforms, right? But he has a great relationship with Sony. And I think if the game's interesting enough, Sony's about that at a minimum, time exclusive, like, right? Or at least the game being only on PlayStation and PC. So if it's good enough and Sony approves of it, I would not be surprised if they're having conversations already on just keeping it PlayStation, PC, and stuff. So it could be. It depends. Now, if he already made more than enough money to do his own thing, then it could be whatever platform he wants and stuff. So I really don't know. I can't really answer, but I will say him and Sony, they've been having a great relationship for years, going back to the PS1. So he has a great relationship with Sony. And if Sony sees value in this game, like, man, we got to have this game be on PlayStation first, like, for real, they will give him the money. And they will front the money. They will. I'll say that. Sony will be like, yeah, we'll give you this money and give us a year or 6 month time exclusive and then put it on PC or something. They will do that.
Yep. And just to go off what you said, I definitely think Sony is, they know Kojima, they know the history. They've worked with him since, PS1 days, and they know that, okay, he just left after the bad breakup with Konami.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't want to just get acquired, right? He probably wants his own thing, but guess what? It's almost like Sony, Kojima's like Sony's side chick. It's like, look, I know I can't wife you, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna throw you some bread, keep you around. You know what I'm saying? So you don't go to the dude on the other side of the street. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to keep Kojima, at least my speculation is they're trying to keep him in line, keep him PlayStation. Whether it goes to PC or Xbox eventually, that's kind of something more in Kojima's hands, I would think. The money, then it's probably just going to be PlayStation and PC, just like Death Stranding. And PlayStation has every reason in the world to do like a repeat deal of Death Stranding. Hey, we fund your studio, and then go from there.
Yeah, to understand how much pull Kojima has with Sony, I remember Cory Barlog. He's mentioned something about God of War, right? Somebody replied, when is this coming to PC? And he replied, he would love to, but he's not Kojima, so it's above his head. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, yo. So you know when Cory Barlog is telling you he's not Kojima, so it's above his head. I'm like, yo, Kojima got this pull, man.
Clout.
Yo, he got clout. I'm like, because you know what Cory says? Yeah, I'm not Kojima, so it's above my head. I'm like, yo.
Kojima is like what, a 40-year veteran in the industry?
Yes, man.
We actually saw we saw Kojima when we went to E3 2018. We went to a panel he had with Jordan Voight Roberts, who's actually directing the Metal Gear movie, and is like homie Kojima.
So you met Corey.
Oh yeah. Well, I've said that story so many times on this podcast, but yes, if you haven't heard it, I did meet Cory Barlog twice at E3. First time was at a Chick-fil-A when I just pulled up to LA. He was literally sitting in front of me. I had to tweet him to confirm it was him, and he went ahead and we talked about God of War for like 30 minutes. He took a picture, posted me on his Twitter. It's on my Twitter. I'll retweet it again. And then we bumped into him again at E3, which a lot of people didn't even know who he was. And I called over a C-Dollah sign. I'm like, yo, Cory Barlog's here. Get your ass over here right now. We buy the food trucks. So that was a dope ass experience meeting Cory Barlog and seeing Kojima in the flesh, rocking Death Stranding gear, and I was able to get my PlayStation 4 Air Force Ones, which was dope. You had to be at E3 to get it. So yeah, man, it was a dope experience. But yeah, Kojima, I'm excited for whatever this is. We all know that he took the Decima engine, the version he had, and he pumped out Death Stranding in 3 years, right? We got Death Stranding from pre-development to final product in 3 years flat. So, I'm excited to see where this leads, man. And again, most likely it's going to be on the Sony side.
I can't wait for that first really weird trailer where we can all talk about it and be like, what the hell did we just watch?
Yeah, we see babies and like who knows?
Zombie alien babies.
Yeah, Kojima's he's crazy, but you know what I'm saying, he's consistent, comes out with bangers, man. So we're definitely looking forward to that. I did just to end off the show, I thought, it'd be appropriate time, and this is just kind of a discussion piece. Anyone could chime in. Current thoughts on next gen right now, looking out pretty much 3 weeks. Are we hyped? Do we think there's more coming?
Big hyped. I definitely think there's something up both of their sleeves that they're just waiting to pick out right before launch.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what it's going to be, but I know they're both doing it.
Well, let me ask you this, CC, regarding this discussion. As an Xbox fan, are you currently, right? Again, we don't know what's coming out in the next 3 weeks. As of today, are you happy with what Microsoft has shown you? Honestly.
Yeah. I was happy. I said it the moment I saw Fable. I mean, I love Fable, and again, that brings me to that sense of being a kid, and I've had an Xbox all my life, so there's not shit that's going to change now.
Wait, so nothing after the Fable thing was like, damn, ouch, damn, why? Nothing like that?
Just Fable?
I mean, people have delays. Like, I mean, you see delays all the time on the PlayStation side, so it's a part of gaming. I've gotten used to delays. I mean, delays happen, but it's not going to be the deciding factor of me not getting my dream console.
But all you saw was a 1.5 minute CGI.
You saw a toad
eating
I saw potential.
You saw a toad.
You saw a toad.
Potential.
But
and I saw my favorite game that they've ever created. So.
Okay. Well, hey.
Isn't that what it's all about?
Personal opinion.
Yeah. All right. We're on side our opinions. All right. What about you, Trip? As an Xbox guy, are you currently not with what you've seen so far happy with Microsoft's output, what they've shown you?
I am not mad at all. Majority of the games I've been playing have been third party. Halo is my big Xbox game. I know I was excited when they dropped the video. Still excited to wait. I'm not worried at all.
Y'all Xbox got some patient dudes. But I give it to y'all, man. Y'all bleed green and y'all stick with your team, and I respect that. At the end of the day, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? We from DC area. Some people stick with the Redskins for some reason. I don't know why.
My whole life.
Exactly. That's all they know.
Hey, I'm saying, I understand. I'm a Knicks fan, so I get it. I get it. I understand. I get it. I get the loyalty.
We had that one year with Melo and J.R. Smith winning 6 man of the year.
Yeah, you go year over year. Yeah, you go year over year, hoping that this is your year. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
On faith.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna say Puerto Rock for last. A dollar sign as and then you could speak for yourself if you're more neutral now. As someone I recognize as someone who's definitely more PlayStation leaning, are you happy with what you've seen from PlayStation or Xbox? Like, where do you stand as of right now from what you've been shown?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with both, really. It seems like they're both really going hard at it. Me personally, I'm gonna get Cyberpunk and just play it on my PC. So I'm probably not gonna even touch my PS5 for a while. But I'm liking what they're showing.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Cool Hand, as my brother who bleeds blue.
I love what I've seen so far. I would say there are certain things that I wish that didn't really please me too much. Like I didn't really feel like I got enough of the user experience when I saw it, but I think that's just tailored more to the fact that like I need to get my hands on it and experience it myself. Because seeing
UI, right?
Yeah, the UI. So you can call it user interface or user experience, whatever it is. But yeah, I feel like that's one of those things where I got to see for myself, and then I'll probably just sway that. The other thing is, I mean, we all know HDMI 2.1, 4K, 120 hertz. There really isn't a monitor out there unless you're shelling out thousands of dollars that's going to support that right now until February 26th, which that crowdfunded company called Eve with that Spectrum monitor, that 27 inch. And that won't be available till, next year. So, I mean, I'm gonna have to buy a TV now, which is great. Not really, but other than that, man, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hyped like I've never been hyped before, man. This feels like I feel like a teenager at a sneaker release. You know what I'm saying? Like just trying to get my stuff, bro. Like that's it. I got through to the pre-order. You know what I mean? If this was the sneakers app, that picture saying "got 'em," you know what I'm saying, would just show up. I'm hyped. Let it go. Let it
on his Christmas list.
Yeah, right.
And by the way, anyone who's watching right now, please look at your screen. Look at that. This is a custom outer shell that I saw on Twitter today. That's actually being it's actually on sale right now. That you can purchase if you want to swap out the white shell for your PS5. I gotta get this, man. It's only $40.
That's the other thing. I'm looking forward to the customization process on this. Yeah. Right, that's exciting in itself. You know what I mean? Aside from the user experience and all that other stuff, man. Like that in itself, the outside, just the aesthetic, that's gonna be dope.
Okay. And I would say for me personally, I'm more than ecstatic from what I've seen on the Sony side. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited also for, I can't really speak on what I haven't seen, like, PSVR 2 and all that. But from what I've seen, I mean, you got me sold on Demon Souls, and Miles Morales. I mean, to be honest, I was not an early adopter of Spider-Man. It took me like 2-3 years maybe to get Spider-Man, and I got it on sale.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa, you crazy.
I waited. I was like, I'll get it. And I ended up getting the Game of the Year edition, got all the DLC. I didn't play anything else. I went and powered through that game, collected everything, went through every single DLC, and I just loved it. I wanted more. And I'm actually kind of happy I waited because now I'm even more hype. I don't think there was a big gap between that game and, Miles Morales. So that's day one for me. And yeah, the customization, we know we can pop off the shell and throw whatever color combination like what you guys are seeing on screen right now. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it off with PuertoRock. How do you feel from what you've seen so far? Whether it's PlayStation or Xbox, how do you feel so far? Are you satisfied? Think you're lacking anything from what you've seen?
So I'm gonna talk more about PlayStation because that's the console I'll be getting this holiday.
Drop.
Hopefully I could get it day one, but I'll start off. So like I said, I'm excited for both consoles. I'm just excited for next gen. But the PlayStation, I'll start off with the hardware, right? Those plates being removable, easily removable, great opportunities for customizations, right? You no longer have to worry about buying a whole custom console. True story. So I didn't actually buy the PS4 till like February 2015 when Bloodborne came out, right? Because I had to play that game, right? Which is funny enough. I'm buying the PS5 because Demon Souls. But so I bought it for Bloodborne, loved it, and then kept buying the games. But then in June, the Batman, Arkham Knight bundle came out, and I'm a Batman fan, and I'm like, oh my god, if I would have waited like 4 more months, I was mad. So I don't have to worry about that no more. I'm pretty sure, PlayStation will do its custom consoles, but you don't have to buy the console no more. Hopefully they'll sell the plates separately and you just, customize the plates whenever you want, So I like that. I like the SSD. These consoles now opt in SSD as the default stand. So I think it's gonna be a huge improvement on how we enjoy our games. Just being able to get into the game quick and just keep playing and stuff like that. I think that's going to be fantastic for all of us. And then I'm feeling the new controller with the haptic feedback and stuff and see how that plays out. And then ultimately the games, man. I'm excited for Miles Morales, Souls. When they had a God of War gameplay, combat gameplay, I was like, wait a minute, this actually looks really good. So I'm capping that. I'm even going to cop 2K. So there's a lot of games I'm going to end up copping. So I'm excited. Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of gaming this holiday. I just cannot wait.
Well, hey, you heard it here first. We're all hype about next gen. We're again 20 days away from the PS5 release and 17 days away from the Xbox consoles coming out. So definitely watch this space. We got a lot of things coming up for you guys. More amazing guests just like PuertoRock coming in. We're gonna go ahead and close out the show. We've been here for a little bit over 2 hours. Tonight was a great show. Appreciate everyone for being here. Everyone in the chat, P-Rock. And I'll leave you for last. We're going to start doing our outros. Start off with C-Dollah. Where can they find you and what are you playing right now?
Yeah, so they can, always find me on SoundCloud. I might make a Insomniacs playlist pretty soon. Right now I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima Legends. got my key up to 107, so I'm about ready. I'm ready to jump into that and grind in Fortnite. And I've just been messing around with my new ultra wide monitor. I just bought a Samsung G9 and just like experimenting with all the different games on this like 32:9 aspect ratio, which is pretty intense. It feels like I'm in VR with like how immersive and the experience is.
Word, man. All right. iTrip, what are you playing right now and where can they find you?
Right now, I'm going back and forth with Destiny Paladins and the Zombie Royale in Warzone. That shit's crazy. You can catch me at iTrip 2 on the box, and was it iTrip 2_ on Twitter?
All right, bet that, and everyone at home, all the socials are on the screen right now, so they'll be popping up in a second for y'all. All right, Cool Hand, what you playing right now?
Man, you already know what I'm playing, baby. It's that Ghost of Tsushima Legends, man. And I'm playing with the squad. I'm playing with C-Dollah and Nova and PUERTOROCK, man. I would love to run a game with you if you ever down. You guys can find me on IG and Twitter and soon to be on Twitch at CoolHandCruz, and also, PlayStation Network. My PSID is CoolHandCruz, just straight. It's easy, simple.
Word. All right, CC, what are you playing right now and where can they find you?
Right now, I'm kind of bouncing around between League of Legends and Fortnite, just because I am trying to get those holographic skins. I don't know fucking why, but that Fortnite is, or the Iron Man skin is just calling my name, and of course you need like level 200 for it. But
hey, Wolverine Logan skin just came out.
Yeah, I saw that too. And there's just a lot of cool skins this season that have really just caught my attention. So I don't know, I'm pretty grinding hard for those. And just kind of getting back into League a little bit before the consoles drop here.
And
then where to find me?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Budzslightyear on Xbox. We got 2020 WRXSTI on the IG, and then the Twitter's CC1.
All right, and y'all see it there on screen, and y'all know where to find me. Y'all on my channel right now, Nova Insomniac. Make sure you check the description. We got an Instagram account. Trying to bring that up. I appreciate some of y'all for following us. And shout out to our illustrious special guest, PUERTOROCK. What are you playing right now, bro? And where can they find you?
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Right now I'm playing, of course, Ghost of Tsushima, and of course we're gonna rock out Legends. Let's set that. Send me that PSN invite, and then we all squad up together. You can find me on PSN, PUERTOROCK77, same exact name. YouTube, look me up, PUERTOROCK77. Every Monday I host 60 Frames No Like podcast. I gotta get this whole crew up in there. Every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yo, I'm gonna get everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. We're gonna talk in Spanish that whole podcast. Everybody gonna be confused. Okay, everybody. Everybody. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna be wilding out. I can't wait to get you guys up in there. And then you can find me on Twitter, PUERTOROCK77 with an underscore, right? And I'm gonna warn you, on Twitter, I be trolling. I just had Twitter just for the fuckery and for the fun of it, right? Podcast is serious, so check out the podcast, and hopefully I could get everybody up in there. And then Twitter just for the fun, But I appreciate it, guys, man. Thank you so much for the invite, man. This was dope.
Thank you, man. It's been a pleasure.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, man. Appreciate you coming through.
Hey, I'm so happy to actually get to meet you, man. Honestly, just getting to talk to you today, it's been fun. It's been real. I'm really looking forward to doing this again in the future.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Definitely. I got definitely get you on, man. I'm gonna hit y'all up on the DMs and stuff, and we can set something up.
Yeah, I'm adding you right now, PUERTOROCK.
Yeah, I added you during the show.
And as we close out, I just want to make note that my girl just brought me a large Mountain Dew from Taco Bell, and lo and behold, what is on the side of it? You could win the Xbox Series X.
Oh,
pass.
You gotta get back Burger King, dog.
But wait, regular Mountain Dew or Baja Blast?
Yo, regular Mountain Dew all day. Fuck that.
Ooh. Oh man, you weird.
I gotta go to Taco Bell. Get a 6 Xbox.
Yeah, we'll see if I win an Xbox. So
I thought you bled blue, Andy. Nova. I thought you bled blue, Nova.
He's drinking that green stuff. Wow, I don't know what's up with that.
All the same. But yo, again, this was an amazing show, guys. Dope conversation. We're definitely gonna get P-Rock back on, and hopefully catch us on his show. And with that, $. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying ain't no hoping. We gonna show up. We gonna show out.
We'll pull up. But yeah, C-Dollah, I'll let you go ahead and transition us to our outro, and we will catch y'all next week. Same time, same place.
Yeah.
Don't sleep. Insomniacs Podcast out.